something I can do. Jen, can you hear me now? Holy moly. Thank you. It's green now, so I'm assuming you can hear me. Thank you for being here. Okay. And at least I'm seeing comments, so now I'm going to go ahead and exit out of LinkedIn. I don't know what is going on here. Thank you. So like I was saying, again, if you saw my spooky Halloween costume, is it too much? It might be too much. I'm going to post on my Instagram too and do a story. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And I'm just glad I can see you. So I hopped over to my LinkedIn after the broadcast was over and I was like, oh, there was comments and I didn't see anything come through. So the spooky Halloween ghosts are against us today. Well, me. I'm hoping not against you, Jen, because if anybody else is here, Jen has a live stream at 1 that is going to be brilliant and I cannot wait to join it. So first and foremost, I'm just going to go through my wins and my fails. So this October, you know what? I'm going to update my fail to this live stream because there's lots of technical problems. So that's probably my fail. But my huge win, and I'm still super excited about my win, is I finished a huge project that's been weighing on me for a couple months now. And I can't share with you just yet what it is, but it is super duper exciting. And I just can't wait to be able to kind of talk about it a little bit more. But it was a lot of work and it required a lot of late nights. And I'm just glad that it's mostly over. Well, it's not mostly over, but it's halfway over and the part that I didn't want to do is over. So that's exciting. And then my fail is LinkedIn ads. I tried to figure out that world this month. I had somebody ask me if I knew anything about it, and I said, no, I don't, and I'm willing to try it. And I made this meticulous little plan with all of the, we'll do this day and this day, and we'll put this money here and this money there. And once I got into it, like anything, when it's the first time that you do something, I had no idea like how it looked once it was live, the ads once they were live. So I had to kind of readjust. And I wouldn't say it was a complete fail. It did a lot of what we wanted it to do, but it was a fail in that my plan and the outcome did not exactly match. So, which is okay. That's fine. It happens. Okay, so the agenda for today, and lucky for you, I've already gone through it all. So I have a great idea of what I'm talking about. I'm going to go through the Streamyard basics. If you've ever used Streamyard before, let me know. Jen, I know you are very comfy with Streamyard. Anybody else in the comments, let me know. For me, it helps to see how something looks and works and feels before I do anything permanent. Live streams never, like, it's not the end of the world. You can always go back and edit, delete, things like that. Well, you can't edit, but you can delete past broadcasts or say different things in the comments. So StreamYard basics, and then I'm going to move on to guest destinations, how to add those, why to add those. And then I'm going to move on to some fun camera settings that you may or may not know about. So, and then of course, I want to hear any questions or thoughts that you have as we go through this presentation. So first off, just to kind of get a read of the room, have you ever used StreamYard before? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to just hop over on my computer real quick to make sure I'm not missing anybody, because I saw somebody in the other chat say they were joining who I don't think has used StreamYard before. Yeah, so let me know, Aminatu, if you have used StreamYard before or if you're just here to learn. Hi, Tatiana. Thank you so much for being here and all the scary stories. Tatiana, you are rocking it. We did some fun StreamYard things last month for her live stream, and it was so much fun. So let me know where you are on the StreamYard scale, if you're comfortable with it, if you're still learning. First and foremost, this is what the homepage of StreamYard looks like. This is what you're going to sign in and see every time that you are in StreamYard when you type in StreamYard.com. you're not really going to be able to do anything on this homepage as far as what we are talking about. But if you create a studio, if you are going to be going live, you can create it here. Or if you're just like, I just want to see what this looks like I just want to get in there and see what the features look like and how it all works and moves. And like I said, like that's how I am. I know when I first started using StreamYard, there was not as many bells and whistles. So I kind of was able to learn as StreamYard added more features, which has been so fun because there's all of these new features that have been added since I started using this. So this is what the inside of the studio will look like. This is what I'm seeing as I'm talking to you right now. Is I'm in the little box that's right above me right now. That is me added to the screen, and this is what the inside of StreamYard looks like. So if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see that there's comments, banners, brands, and the private chat. So as the host, you're going to see all four of those. As your guest, if you have a guest on your show, they will only see comments and private chat. The private chat is between the producer and the host and the guest or whoever's in the actual studio. And then the comments are everybody coming in through like LinkedIn or YouTube. That's the comment section. So that's kind of just the basic of what inside StreamYard looks like. One thing that I will say that I think was like my biggest worry when I started using StreamYard or when I started helping people go live, you will never accidentally go live. Like you will know when you're live. There will be red things. So where it says go live in the corner, where you're seeing that blue button that says go live, when you click that, that will go red and it will say end stream. So as we are talking, my little go live button is now red. And I also have a timer right up here that says I've been live for however many minutes and it shows me viewer numbers. So that is the biggest thing, I think. Biggest hurdle a lot of times is you won't ever accidentally be live. So don't worry too much about that. Next, I want to talk about the settings that you may or may not be using and why I think you should be using them. So on the bottom, there's going to be something that says settings, and you're going to click on that. And the biggest one that I think people aren't utilizing enough, and I really, really want them to, is called guest destinations. So there's all of these like cool options right here, but we're going to go all the way down to the bottom to guests, and that needs to be enabled. The top one that says guests can stream to their own destination, because what that means is that when you are live, your guests will be live as well. So say Jen joins me for a live stream and we connect her destination. When I hit go live, it will say Shelby is live, but it will also say Jen is live, which is amazing for a couple of reasons. But the biggest reason is the reach. Obviously, you're going to reach all of Jen's audience and you're going to reach all of Shelby's audience. But here's my like favorite thing about StreamYard that I checked last month. Maybe their biggest competitor has updated something, but I don't think so. StreamYard allows all of the comments to come in the same chat, which is huge because I'm not going to say what the other platform is because I don't want to talk mean, but when you go live to two places like that, it separates the audience. So if Jen and I were in the studio, we wouldn't see Jen's people's comments. We would just see Shelby's people's comments. And the reason why it's much better, obviously, to see both is so you can like the whole point of live streaming is engaging the audience. And if you aren't seeing half of the audience, big red flag, right? So that's why I think StreamYard is the best, because all of the comments from both people are going to be in the same chat. Jen, oh yes, I need to do that. Yes, you need to do that. I will help you. And then you can kind of have a much better conversation and a much farther reach with your live stream. So make sure that's enabled. You can also enable it when you go to invite a guest in studio. So in the studio, there's a little button that says invite, and you can toggle it on so that when you share that link, the next step that I'm about to show you will be available for your guest. And so let's just hop over there. So when your guest is signing in, they're going to see only the comments and the private chat. They're not going to have any controls as far as like adding banners to the screen or adding overlays. So this is a banner, just as I'm talking. This is what a banner would be, just something that's added like this, or an overlay is like this thing that you're seeing at the top of my screen right now. This is an overlay. It's basically just a fancy word for a stagnant picture on top of the video. So your guest isn't going to be able to control any of that, which is good. We don't want them to, but they will have this option to stream to their audience. They're going to have to create a StreamYard account, but it takes like 2 seconds to create that. They will just have to log in, and they're going to put an email in. It's going to send them a code. They're going to log in, and then it's going to say, do you want to connect your destinations, meaning your LinkedIn, your YouTube, your Facebook? They can connect up to 2. So then they will log into those accounts, whether it's the LinkedIn or the YouTube or whatever it is. And then voila, you guys will be streaming to both Shelby's and guest destinations. So that's what that means. But what I will say, what they will be needing from you is a thumbnail, a caption, and a title. So what I always do beforehand is I prep this in an email. And when I meet the guest for light and sound check, I say, hey, like, do you want to stream to your LinkedIn account at the same time that we're streaming? I also send this in an email, but I'm pretty sure 95% of the guests ignore the email because it's a lot of steps. So when I meet for the light and sound check, I always say, like, here's an option. I only say it if we have more than 5 minutes to connect their stream, though, because a lot of times it'll like cause some panic and some adrenaline, maybe is the word, just because you're like, oh, is it going to connect in time? So if you have more than 5 minutes with a guest, ask them if they want to connect to the live stream, have an email prepped that has the thumbnail, the caption, the title, then they can put it into their StreamYard account, and it will connect like a little. Let me see if I can go back to that screen. It will connect a destination in the upper right-hand corner so that you will see it inside the studio. See where by the go live button, there's 2 pictures of me. There would be a 3rd picture with your guest's profile connected right there. So again, I think that this is a missed opportunity for a ton of people to reach more people, to connect with more people, and just to serve more people too. Like if you have more conversation in the chat, more questions, that's always great, always wonderful. So anyway, that is my second cool StreamYard feature that you maybe aren't thinking about, which is fine. And I just hope that you'll mull it over because it's definitely worth it. A little bit of a lift at the beginning to connect, but I think that once it's connected, it's easy. You do the same thing that you do with every other broadcast to go live, and it is all good. So this third thing that I'm going to talk about is camera settings. A lot of times, and this is ironic because I should have been over in the audio section because I was in the camera section showing you how to switch between cameras. You can also switch between microphones in the audio section. So switching between cameras here in the camera settings, but you can also switch between high definition. Sometimes if your stream is being laggy, this is where I would go. I would go into that settings and switch it to more of a low definition. I'm going to show you right now what that looks like. And so it's just like a little less clear. But if your live stream is lagging, this is a great option because it doesn't require as much upload speed on your internet's part. So it's one way to kind of work around if you are having some internet connectivity connectivity issues. But I like to do the standard, I think it's like 720p. I don't know what that stands for, but that's like what usually when you sign on will be. But so that is where you will go for camera settings if you're ever needing that. This is some screenshots of me this morning when I was creating these slides for you. And this is another fun one that I think is a good option. If you, like me, might use your hands a lot to gesture, this option will mirror your camera. So a lot of times I always laugh, Kim's really bad about like, put the comments here, but she actually needs to point here or something. Like your host probably is going to be trying to point to things that are down here because now comments are down here. And if you are like having a hard time knowing where to point, there's that option to mirror the camera. Super easy, just toggle it on. But I will say I love that StreamYard added this warning. If you mirror your camera, there is a chance that overlays that you've created will look kind of funky. So if you use a overlay like this, that the StreamYard team has kind of shown here, your face might be off. So just double check that when you do that. Then Jen, I feel attacked. We're both hand speakers. Yes. It was funny. My sister joined one of my live streams and she was like, I didn't realize how much we talk with our hands. After I was like watching you, I was like, oh my gosh, like we do that. And I'm like, yeah. It made me giggle. So the next one that is kind of fun is that there's this touch up my appearance option that they just recently added. Like I joined one of the, so a lot of times if you aren't, most people aren't live stream producers like I am, and you sign into StreamYard and you see a notification, you exit out of it. I watch every single one of those because this is my line of work and what I need to be paying attention to. And one that I saw just a couple weeks ago was this touch up my appearance thing. And I tried it. I was like, wow, that's a lot. So let me show you. I want to show you what this looks like. So right now, this is just like the normal, no, I don't have any filter on. Here is the very strong option for the filter. So as you can see, it like, that kind of makes your skin look young, I guess is the word, or smooth. So they have this option to add kind of a filter to it. I personally don't, I feel like it looks a little bit much for me, but they have like, you can do like a moderate amount or a strong amount or a subtle amount, which I love that they added this like sliding bar so that now it's not like just all or nothing. If you want to do just like a little bit, because it was a rough night last night and the baby didn't sleep, just do just a subtle amount. Or if you want to do a lot because you feel like this is a very important thing and you want to look your very best and just can't get your makeup right, whatever, you can do the most. So that's kind of a fun new one that I wanted to make sure if you're not in your settings, you're not probably looking through a bunch of these. There's also some options for like if you're one of those people that likes to have the virtual backgrounds, you can add that here. If you have multiple cameras, you can also add that in. There's some like hotkeys if you're like mute or stop or whatever. There's some options there. And then layouts, which is kind of what I've been doing with all of these switching, like how big I am. That's what that is. So these are just some fun settings in StreamYard that you may or may not know about. And listen, I'm just glad that you guys joined me again for my second take of the morning. It's just how live streaming is. Sometimes things don't work and sometimes you have to readjust and pivot. And honestly, I have really enjoyed being able to have this conversation again with you this morning. I'm glad that this stream allowed me to see comments this time. I appreciate you spending your time with me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful, spooky week. And whenever you dress up, Send me a picture. I want to see. And please let me know if you have any other StreamYard or live streaming questions. I plan to do maybe one about how I repurpose content, what I like to do with it after. I'll just go back to where the homepage is on my slides, because if you look, here, there's some options. See where it says library or past? There's some very cool StreamYard options that they've just added as far as like repurposing video. So I'm thinking I might do something about that in the future. Let me know if that's like something that would be interesting. I've found like short clips from live streams perform really well, and usually draw people into the entire conversation, which then draws people into joining more frequently, which then kind of creates this fun community online, which is the entire goal of live streaming. So keep an eye out for that. I think I'm going to do that next month, and I will see you at the end of November. Thank you for being here. Thank you for riding the tech glitches that I had this morning with me, and I hope you have a great week.